we are. There we are. There's the red dot. There you are. Hi, America. Welcome back to the SAC. Once again, sweltering SAC. It rained.
It poured.
It went sideways for a little while. I swear to God, you should see my back deck. And yet...
Dude, the geezer snored.
And yet, yes, and yet, it didn't cool things off. So
No.
we got multiple... By the way, we should turn that fan back on.
It made it worse.
Yeah. It didn't cool it off. Like, I came out to set up for the show tonight. By the way, the redoubtable one over there, turning on the fan, Chom Izzo, highly questionable, Naja Miliaccio, IDD, for those, I don't disagree. Just having a quick recap, a bit debriefing, deposed.
Is that too high? Or
no, it's fine.
Dear
That's
God,
fine.
that moth was blowing like it got caught in a tornado.
It's in Kansas. So anyway, segment one. Look, first off, so the rain didn't do its job tonight. Last night was a perfect night. We're going to start with that. Shout out to the SAC that is not so dead, Mr. Brian Kovac, after all. And if the food alone was any indication, the SAC never went anywhere, okay? Because the food was right there where it always is.
Simply delicious.
Simply delicious. By the way, I finally, because the last time you made the meats, I didn't get a piece of it. It was fucking gone. So
It's your first time having the meats?
Yeah. And
Seriously?
It was fucking spectacular.
Nice.
Yeah, but I went to go get it the last time, but it was already gone.
Yeah,
it was like,
well, that's the
holy
thing.
shit.
It's in the shape of a pie, so it goes.
It goes. So I made a beeline for that before anything, and when I got in there, there was like 3 pieces left or 2, and I got a good size one, and I scoffed it down there when I was making drinks. So I had to get. And by the way, talk about a good drinking base. That shit right there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that'll absorb some alcohol.
That just sits in your stomach and goes, "Come on, bitch.
come on, hit me again. I can put some stank on it." That's what that shit
So
does.
for those that don't know, miats
Miats.
is basically where you get this spaghetti called bucatini. It's a little thicker than normal spaghetti, and there's a hole through it. Like you could see through each spaghetti. But you boil it, you douse it in a mixture of eggs, Parmesan cheese, garlic powder, almost like a carbonara. Then you put it in a pan with butter and oil, fry it, put ricotta cheese and mozzi all throughout it, put the second layer on it, flip it, fry it. So it's a fried spaghetti pie.
Fried spaghetti pie, a.k.a. grade A alcohol absorption.
And
Because
grade A
really-
breast growing, as you can see.
It was succulent. But shout out to my wife. The sauce was succulent. Saucinator, Rebecca Lynn McCosh, weaving her magic in the kitchen on Friday night. The meatballs were spectacular. Anthony and Mia, by the way, made most of those meatballs.
Well played.
Pretty impressive by the young ones. We're raising them right here.
The baby Migs.
Yep, the sacklings, if you will. They were 2 of the sacklings. The s'mores, by the way, I got a call. I saw Adrian today, the later came in. Mr. RJ, those s'mores were he said the word delectable, by the way, which really, that was to me, hey, kid, you're learning. And so, anyway, thanks to everyone last night. Even DJ made an appointment. DJ Garoppolo showed up last night. And
DJ
Odin. But he showed up. So, and hung around for a couple cocktails. It was good. Good to see everybody. Maria and Jamshed, who are back from their worldly travels. Apparently the other side of the world is doing okay. Well, we know it's not. See the Ukraine. But
Maria brought the tiramisu.
Maria brought the tiramisu.
Very nice.
Good Lord. Talk about last call. Holy shit, Maria. Whoa.
Whew. That tiramisu is about 95 proof.
I will tell you something, Maria. If you are the one person who I know doesn't go halfway on anything. There was no halfway on that. So it was a great night had by all. The Creeks showed up. Everybody showed up. It was fun. It was a fun night, and the weather was perfect. And we closed it off with a Jedi session. Well, he left around 1 o'clock. Me and Jeff, shout out to Jeff Alla. Extended sack, Jeff
I
Alla.
left at 2:10.
2:10. 2:10, is that what it was?
I walked in the door at 2:12.
3:37.
That's when y'all left?
That's when we finally went home. And he Ubered home. By the way, that was smart.
I saw you guys go inside. Did you keep drinking?
We had another drink. Yeah.
Dude, these loud sons of bitches, I could barely get a fucking word in edgewise unless I screamed it. They were both out talking each other.
Hard to do.
Very hard to do.
A couple of
And I heard stories about fucking Billy Bartle.
Yep.
Is that his name?
Yep,
Billy Bartle and
yep.
Chris Collingsworth?
No,
Hemingsworth?
Chris Pachinin.
No, not Chris Pachinin, Jay Pachinin.
Jay's his younger brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were telling me about the old scrappers
Even
from
Brian
Boston.
Canales came up, another
Brian
legend
Canales.
in Franklin Law for fisticuffs.
We were doing this
yeah.
real weird thing that older guys do when they talk
drunk,
about when they
they're hammered.
used to fight when they were younger. It's kind of pathetic, but it's something we do. Okay?
It's funny.
Right. Well, it's not funny.
It's like you're reliving glory
Right.
days.
You're going to
like,
feel like a big shot, you know?
Yeah.
And
I
it's
mean,
okay.
athletes do it with sports
Sometimes
too.
you need that.
Athletes do it with sports too. Trust me, it's not
Everyone does it with everything.
Everybody does it.
Everybody relives the glory days.
And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. Because having a good memory, no matter how ridiculous it is.
The only reason there's
A
nothing
fond
wrong
memory.
with glory days.
No.
But when you look back on violently assaulting people with, with honor and dignity,
Is there
that's
such that, yeah.
where it can get a little like
Dicey.
all right, what are you doing here?
Dicey.
But it's just dumb guy shit. So it was fun to do that.
Yeah, we don't do it very often.
No,
so,
we don't.
It
We
was
don't.
fun. But anyway,
It was
shout
a
out
lot
to
of
all of them. We're gonna start
Follow with the fresh pasta.
the pasta. Yeah, by the way, Jeff Alla, extended
Made
sack.
fresh spaghetti.
Not only is the sack alive, Kobe, but the extended sack is alive. That homemade pasta was spectacular.
Oh, and then hold on.
Yeah.
Creek brought the burrata with the peaches.
By the way, the appetizer,
prosciutto.
amazing,
So
Creek. Yes.
burrata,
Yeah, Creek.
peaches, prosciutto, and
Yeah.
then Mike's hot honey drizzle.
Yeah. Creekmore
We
hit.
could have ended the night with that.
Yeah, Creekmore hit that one out of the park.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean,
That
everybody,
was
look,
a
as usual, proof the sack is live. That's what we do. Everybody who contributes hits it out of the park.
And the country style sourdough loaf
Yes.
that I brought from Idle Hands.
Amazing. Amazing.
Beautiful bread for sauce.
It was. I feel bad that you weren't there, America, because honestly, you'd still be full. You'd still be full 24 hours later. So anyway, we're going to start segment one with
Can I have a soda?
Yes, of course you can.
I finished mine from the time
By
we
the way,
ordered
segment
it.
one brought to you by.
And what the hell happened to the fridge?
I know that happened. I did that.
You pulled it off? Oh, it was last night.
Yeah, there's always some kind of residue.
There's something
always happens.
something I really respect about a man who just takes the blame.
No, it was my fault, and I don't know why I
He
did
said
it.
I did that.
I didn't know why I did it. It wasn't like it was stuck.
I'll show you why. Open that freezer. Open the freezer. You see the bottle of stuff in there? What is that?
Yeah. Oh, the cello.
That's orange cello.
Yeah, the cello. There
The
was
limoncello and orange cello came out.
Yeah.
And not the store-bought 40 proof shit.
Brian Kovac.
Homemade.
His baby is limoncello. That's
Excuse
his
me,
baby.
the
And you-
orange cello
Yeah.
is mine.
I said lemon,
I know.
not orange.
But we were drinking both.
Both. Yes.
And both homemade.
Yes.
True. Brian's the one that got the recipe from some guy.
Yep.
The stuff is amazing, but it's
Amazing.
dangerous.
Talk about a post-dinner dessert. Oof, baby. It's dangerous. So
It's
anyway,
it's like 190 proof.
it was a great sack night. The kids had s'mores. The Sacklings were loving around playing flashlight tag. It was a fun night had by all.
Started
and it was
discussing
needed.
fantasy football. a
Started
little
getting ready
bit.
for fantasy. By the way, our draft is 2 weeks away. Yeah.
We're
2
talking
weeks.
about seafood and
Yeah,
all sorts
everything.
of shit.
Yeah, we're talking surf and turf.
We're probably not going to end up doing any of that.
Oh, we will. For the draft? I think surf and turf will happen. Because you know why?
Yeah.
Jeff Alla and Brian Kovac. When those two decide to get food, they get food. And nothing's
I was going to be like, look, it's $6,000, but I mean, we'll split it 8 ways. It'll be fine.
It's
I'd be like, dude,
$6,000.
I can't. I don't have it.
It's
like,
$6,000.
he's like, no, there's 10 of us. We're fine.
It's
I'm
not
like,
gonna be
I
600.
still don't have 600.
We're not going to get the 65 pounds of meat.
He's going to fucking do that.
If he does that, he does that on his own.
I was gonna be like, look, I made an executive decision. It only cost $20,000, but I figured we had 13 people. I'm like, oh, you're right.
Yeah, sure.
Give away my month's salary.
Yeah, seriously. What's $1,800 right out of your back pocket? Sure, why not?
Sure, I'll throw a whole paycheck in.
Absolutely. Speaking of getting paid or not getting paid, or the women's soccer team officially
Speaking of getting paid.
officially
Don't do this shit again.
I'm not gonna. I
right,
think
all right.
they should get paid.
Okay.
But they didn't help their case today. Splatola. Okay, they lose on penalty kicks because once again they couldn't find the net. Megan Rapinoe, Godspeed. You couldn't retire fast enough. She shot one so far over the fucking net.
3 of them missed.
3 in a row they missed and they lost. They go down to Sweden. It's the
And then
lowest.
did you see the winner?
Yeah.
The goalie blocked it, but it can't.
Yeah.
She didn't catch it, so
Yeah.
it bounced and came
Back,
back.
and then she
blocked it again, but it crossed the line by like
that
a
much.
pubic hair.
Yep. Yeah.
It's a shitty way to lose.
Well, they didn't look at.
The one girl
They-
had the opportunity to put it away.
We
Did you see that?
Yeah.
We had the.
Yeah.
If I don't know her name. If it was Smith, I think it was
Might have
Smith.
been Smith. I think it was her. Yeah.
I feel bad for
I
her.
was so
She
out
was
of
crying.
it when I was watching that. But anyway, I was. Look, they didn't play well the whole time, and the warning signs were there. And it seemed like they were getting mad about former players on the team are the one, by the way, giving the analysis, not people like me and him.
Oh, did the team get mad?
The Carly Lloyd, who's been the most outspoken one, she's a 2-time World Cup winner with that team. So if anyone has earned the right to criticize that team, it's someone like
Carly
her.
Lloyd the one that hit him hard after
yeah,
they
she
tied?
blasted him, and she was right to. She was 100% right, and look what happened today.
But are you saying that the team
didn't like it?
Spoke out?
Yes, they did. They responded to it, and they were not happy about it. And they were like, "What are you talking about? That girl helped you win 2 World Cups. If anyone's earned the right." And anyone would know the difference, it would be her.
They shouldn't get mad at her.
They shouldn't get mad at her.
Because now
if it was me or you, or something like that,
plus it's her job now.
And,
she's
and by the way,
if
she sits there and tells the world everything's hunky-dory, that no one's going to believe her anyway.
She's got no credibility.
Yeah, she loses credibility. So how do you get mad at her, A, for doing her job, okay, B, for calling you out for not doing yours, when that is her job? That's what they pay her for.
Well,
why are they losing? And then she breaks it down. She's right, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's why they pay her. Now, you understand that that's her job.
Yeah.
So don't get mad at her for doing her job.
Right.
Hey, if you did your job, she wouldn't have had to do hers. How about that?
Well, see, the tough part is if you're caring about that means you're not fully focused.
You're not fully focused.
But the only thing I will.
And by the way, that's what she said. They're not fully focused.
So this is one thing that I haven't liked, is that because. Is it Rapinoe or Rapinoe? Yeah, this segment brought to you by Dr. Pepper's.
He always shows up. There's one man that always shows up.
Well, actually, let's not be sexist here.
No.
We don't know what gender the doctor is. Okay?
That's a good point.
Right? Could be. I mean, we're covering women's soccer.
We are. It's possible.
Could be a woman, could be non-binary, who knows?
It could identify as a female.
Well,
it could.
But then it's just a female.
But it identifies as what if it identifies as a non-female? Does that make it a male?
Well, no. If you don't identify as a male or a female, you're non-binary. All right.
Anyway,
let's move past. So the only thing we just stopped. We were like, huh? So the only thing I didn't like about what happened.
Go ahead.
So because Rapinoe and a lot of the players actually have spoken out politically. There's a lot of Americans almost rooting against them.
Oh, this is the thing I was leading into.
And pound and saying, yeah, you should have just shut your mouth about your views and play. And it's like, that's fucked up.
That's fucked up.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
part of the thing that makes America great is that you can speak up about your beliefs, and every American citizen has the right to do that. Just because you don't agree with them, what if you stood up for something and they don't agree with you?
Right.
I mean, that's what makes it. You can't do that really in a lot of other countries on this planet, but in America you can. And she's a professional athlete, and she's using her platform to bring awareness. And look,
you got to respect that.
I have no problem with that because people got under Michael Jordan about not doing that enough during his playing days about racism in America.
Yeah, about
he
a
got
lot
criticized.
of issues, yeah.
He got criticized for not being outspoken about it. Then an athlete does it, and you turn around and you get on their case. And don't give me the. And here's the thing that really ticks me off about this, because look, I'm as pissed as anybody that team lost, and I told him there was going to be backlash.
Yeah, you told me you were pissed.
And I'm fucking. I'm beyond fucking pissed. I watched. I stayed up.
Did you?
Yeah, I watched it.
You stayed up, or did you kind of wake up?
I watched all, but I think the last I passed out.
Oh, did you miss the finals?
No, I was up for that.
Okay.
I fell asleep at the 6 minute, what was it? There's 45 minutes left. At the 39-minute mark, I fell asleep. First half. I woke up. In the second half, they were in like the 21st or 22nd, 23rd minute, whatever it was. So I missed the first part of the second half.
So they were like in the 60s something.
Yeah, whatever it was. So then I watched the rest of it. The thing is that I'm as pissed as anybody. And look, everybody should be pissed that this team lost because they underachieved. They were the favorite to win it. And I said to him on the other show, if they get to the semifinals and lose, I can live with that. Because at least they got to the Final Four. It's tough to three. And look, they were trying to do something that had never been done before. Yeah. They had a bullseye on their back the size of the continent of North America. I get it. But the bottom line is they've had that bullseye before. And they've handled it. And look, it's a younger team, to Joel's point. They don't have the experience of a lot of it. That's part of the problem.
But one thing that
it's not all of it, but that's part of it.
One thing I heard, and I've told you I don't watch it, so I don't really know. But from what I heard, to me, it sounded like there were some coaching issues. Because what I heard is that players like Rapinoe really shouldn't have been playing. Like, they had I heard somebody say this team was so fucking deep.
Yeah, they didn't.
And it was like, we don't need to sub. We got Rapinoe out there, and it's like, no, you got better players.
It was more like it was a ceremony because it was going to be your last World
Yeah.
Cup. Which, by the way, you can do that when you're up 3-0.
Right.
You can't do that
No.
when you're in a 0-0 Donnybrook and your season's on the line. It's over if you lose. That's not the time to do this. And why she was taking a penalty kick, I have no idea. But that was.
Well, I think she probably had to at that point.
Well, she played.
Yeah.
But I'm saying
maybe she should have been subbed out at some point in the game.
Look at it's all on the table here.
Yeah,
There's enough blame. They didn't lose for one reason. They lost for several. Okay.
And some of it is probably the other teams are.
They're also
getting
playing
better.
against teams that everybody's gunning for them. I mean, that team has won 3 gold medals, 4 whatever. They've got a resume like the Celtics.
Who's Sweden?
No, the U.S.
talking about
women's
us.
soccer
Yeah.
team. They're a dynasty.
Yeah.
They're like the Russian hockey team. They're like that's who they are. So
And whenever they get beat, it's going to be
it's going to be news. They got to the point where
so-
it's only news when you lose. But the thing is, this is the earliest they've ever exited this tournament. Their offense they had 5 goals in like 4 games, whatever it was, 3 of their offense was non-existent. And you had Alex Morgan on the field? I don't give a shit if she is double teamed. Then have her run free and then throw a pass to her on the go. So you got to find a better way to get your best player involved, which, by the way, is coaching.
Yeah.
So, because if you have a player of Alex Morgan's caliber, you find a way.
Yeah.
Okay, you find a way to get her more touches. You find a way to get her
They have
scoring
multiple
opportunities.
players of her caliber.
I'm saying this offense was atrocious. And I noticed it in the first game. One of their better players couldn't kick the ball with her left foot for some reason on the left side of the field.
Was that Smith?
Yeah, and I asked Joel about it, and Joel was like, and I said I could every time.
Joel said there's actually a lot of players with only 1 foot.
How can you be that fucking good and you can't use one leg in a sport that's your feet?
Hopefully
Unless
this
you're
is
a
a
goalie.
catalyst for them.
Well, maybe something they need a wake up call.
And I mean, with Rapinoe retiring, it probably
yeah.
is kind of like a changing of
it
the,
is.
you know.
She was the last, I think, of the old guard. I think, but
I think there's a couple others on that are older like her.
than her,
Not
she's the
older,
oldest one,
but I
yeah.
mean older like her.
Maybe, but she's by far the oldest one on the team. I know that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Well, Alex Morgan, right? She's older.
she's not as old. She's not as old as Rapinoe.
No, but she's 30, right?
She's like 30. This girl, Rapinoe's 37. 30.
She's had a long career.
She's had a long career. Look,
I like her hair.
And look she's one of the most decorated players ever. She's one of the best players ever, and I give her credit for that. And I don't have a problem with her damn views. And if you're,
Not
look
at all.
they're
all about human rights.
The thing is, what people are saying, what I'm hearing, they're saying, look, I get her views, but people are saying that's part of the reason why she wasn't as focused. If that's even true, I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
I know when you're not focused, something's distracting you. That's all I know. Lack of focus means you're being distracted. So now we're talking about, okay, what's distracting them? And I don't know the answer to that question.
Speaking out against
I don't know-
people's rights, that's a good distraction.
There's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that. There's
that's a
nothing
good
wrong with that.
distraction. That's not
okay,
gonna hurt you.
I applaud her for doing that. And the thing is, how can you call yourself an American when then you say the American you're mad at them for using their right to do that?
Yeah.
There's a great line.
Well, hypocrisy. There's nothing more American than
hypocrisy.
So.
It runs amok in this country, and it pisses me off because I understand being hypocrites when they're young because they don't know better yet. But as you get older, you should be less and less of a hypocrite.
But it
As you
works
get
the
older.
opposite.
It works the opposite sometimes.
Kids are less hypocritical.
Yeah.
Kids are typically
Yeah.
themselves,
Just themselves.
all the
All the
time.
time.
And then at some point we
Yeah.
start trying to change
Yeah.
to appease people.
Yeah.
And that's when you become a hypocrite.
Yep.
It's
Go
tough.
along, get
I mean,
along. And if it's going to put bread on your table, that's the main number reason why we do it.
Really is that's probably
That's the number one
it's
reason why we
probably
do
a worldly thing.
it. It's a worldly problem. It's a
Hypocrisy.
human problem. It's not an American problem.
It's a human problem.
It's a human problem. But the point is that they didn't lose because she was expressed. That's not why they lost. That's nothing to do with it.
They lost the game on
And
the fucking
for
field.
people to be rooting for them to lose,
because of that.
okay, you're not an American. That's un-American to me because they knelt for the flag. Let me drop this one on you. This is how stupid this fucking country is, and this would apply to some of you, okay? Because the facts are this, okay? In this fucking backwards ass, and I've said we're the stupidest country on earth. Thank God we have the world's best military. The bottom line is this, okay? When a guy is accused by 24 different women, of sexual assault, and he pays them off to keep it quiet, and his punishment is a suspension, and then he gets, but when you come back, you're going to get $230 million guaranteed.
255.
255 versus another quarterback who knelt in protest of racism, and he can't get a job.
Right.
He didn't hurt anybody.
Because he
didn't hurt anybody.
He came out against cops.
Yeah, he didn't hurt anyone.
Peaceful protest.
Peaceful protesting, which you people all bitch about, doesn't happen enough.
Well, no, if there's a protest where shit gets violent, it's why can't you protest peacefully?
I'm saying, and by the way, when you say to me there's always a time and a place, that's a load of shit. Because you know what I mean? Everyone that says that never tells me what the time and the place is. I never hear the response. You ever heard that? When is the time and the place?
Imagine if he knelt on the floor of his house while the national anthem. Would anybody
Would anybody have noticed?
know?
Was that the time and the place? You racist fucking pricks. Because those are the ones that are saying this shit.
Yeah.
If you're saying that, you are a racist fucking prick. A time and a place. Here's a time and a place. Sunday afternoon. Half the nation is watching. Might be the right time.
Oh, and here's a good
Might
one.
want to get some eyeballs on this. Might be a good time.
Here's a good one. I don't disagree with what he's saying. I just disagree with how he's doing it.
Yeah, he didn't.
That's what people
He didn't
say.
roll up to a school and kill a bunch of kids with an AK-47. No, he sat there and exercised his American right to protest, and he did it without threatening anyone. He did it without pulling a gun on anybody. He didn't break any property. Didn't damage nothing. He didn't damage nothing.
But of course, you still have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, so the first couple times he did it, he sat on the bench.
Yeah.
And he caught shit.
Yeah.
So you know what he did? He talked to a Marine about it.
Yeah,
And the Marine said, you know what? Yeah. If you went down on a knee, that shows respect.
Yeah.
While still.
Yeah. A U.S.
Right. So that shows
Marine
respect. That shows,
told him that.
That shows. Look, I'm not trying to disrespect what this flag is supposed to be about.
Because you know what that flag is supposed to be about? Freedom.
Right.
Okay.
Being able to do
Freedom.
that.
Okay, and that's the reason we're free. And it's not a disrespect to the armed men and women of this service. It's not at all. No fucking way. You're missing the point as usual.
Military fight.
As usual. You're the same fucking people who think Tom Brady actually fucking deflated 11 fucking footballs. You're fucking idiots. Okay, it's unbelievable to be that stupid. Hey, read the Ideal Gas Law and then talk to me if you can read. Okay, so the bottom line is this: those people, okay, are the ones that have a problem with Megan Rapinoe.
Yeah.
And you're pathetic. And you're the definition of fucking racist. You need to go look in the mirror at yourself and what you've done with your life. Because honestly, I don't care how much fucking money you make. I don't care how many fucking yachts you jet ski behind. That doesn't make you a man. Okay? Bobby Knight proved you can make $100 million a year and be an asshole. Okay? Doesn't mean a fucking thing. Money.
Oh man, that was a good one to use.
Man make the money. Money don't make the man. Understand that, America. Okay? And until we understand that, we're never going to evolve. Never. Okay? So anyway, that's not why the UN's women's soccer team lost. And Megan Rapinoe, for all the shit you've gotten today, congratulations on a great fucking career. And I wish I wish it ended better because you're a fucking Hall of Famer.
That's true.
And you did represent this country with those fucking World Cups. You kept helping them win. So, because she was
is she married to Sue Bird?
Sue Bird.
That's a power couple.
I love Sue Bird.
Sue Bird's awesome.
So don't give me this fucking bullshit because she's doing what most of you don't have the fucking guts to do. Okay, stand up for what she believes in.
Oh, I thought you meant marry Sue Bird. Because most of them probably don't have the guts to marry Sue Bird either.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
No, but seriously, they don't. Most of those people don't.
Yeah, but whatever. The point is that she did what she should have done.
Yeah, no doubt.
She used her platform to help people.
Yeah, and it
That's
sucks.
what we want
And it
our
sucks
efforts
that
to
they
do.
lost.
It sucks that they lost. I'm so fucking pissed about this. But look, there were warning signs early on. This team, at least on the offensive end, they never got it. If you want to criticize Megan Rapinoe for saying that, I just believe. You want to get on her for that shit? Okay, that's fair. Get on her for that shit. Because I didn't like when she said that either.
What did she say?
She's like, I just believe. Because they asked her, why do you think you're going to turn it around? She goes, I just believe. She didn't give them any tactical reason, any reason from look.
Was she trying to be Ted Lasso?
Basically, yeah, and she's not Ted Lasso.
Believe.
Who is? You ever see Ted Lasso play darts, by the way? Yeah, don't fucking play darts with Ted Lasso.
Every Sunday, me and my dad.
Barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
Mm-hmm. So, anyway, it sucks that they lost. Earliest exit ever. Heads need to roll in that fucking organization to get them back where they belong. Because the talent, they didn't lose from a talent. Here's the thing, they didn't lose from a talent perspective. In fact, every team they faced, they were the more talented team on paper.
That sucks to lose like that.
They were. Every team they faced in this tournament, they were the more talented team on paper. So that's why it sucks. Because that shouldn't happen.
Dude, you know what this... I'm sorry, I didn't mean
to...
I'm going to kind of change the subject a little bit. But this conversation makes me think a lot about the Redeem Team documentary. And I'd like you to watch that, because I know you probably don't love most of the guys on that team because you were.
As my brother so eloquently put it, these guys today don't get it.
All right, but I still
my brother
think,
Pete said that of all people.
But
he's usually the one that's bad.
But Pete's getting old. Once you hit a certain age.
Oh, is that what it is? It's not the truth, perhaps.
No. Whether it's the truth or not, I'm not arguing. But I'm saying I'm going to get to a point where I look back and go, these guys don't get it.
Well,
because I'm beyond that generation.
It's not
because I think there is a disconnect a lot of times.
It's not. Look, I'm not saying they shouldn't get paid. I'm not saying they're not talented. I'm not saying they can't play. None of that is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you look at why guys fail, and by the way, this goes back to my day, because there were guys that were this talented back when I was playing, and they never achieved what they could have, and no one could figure out why, and they didn't get it either. I'm not talking about the guys that didn't win. I'm talking about the guys that did and why they won. It wasn't their talent. There was something different about them internally. That's why they won.
Sure.
When you have athletes of equal talent going at each other, it's what's inside one that's going to determine versus the other who wins that outcome.
Right. It's the
Not
drive,
the talent.
it's the motivation.
It's all the things you
like
can't.
That,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I know, and I get that.
So that's when I say they don't get it. That's what I talk about. Stuff like that.
But what I'm saying is,
Jaylen Brown still can't dribble with his fucking left hand.
But here's what I'm trying to say.
And you said he averaged 27 again. Imagine if he could go left. And you said that. And you're 100. By the way, Tom, let's imagine for a minute.
Be the best player
what if
in the league.
Jaylen could go left?
Be the best player in the league.
That's what I'm saying.
But all I'm saying is, while that is true, what you're saying, also, I think there is a disconnect. Once you get to a certain age, you start to lose touch with what young people are coming up in.
Well, the world changes.
The world changes, right? And you now these young people develop in a different environment than the one you developed in.
Yeah.
So I think there's always a like there's a certain point you reach and you look back and you go, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
But the problem with
what is wrong with these kids?
There's one thing, at least when it comes to sports, that doesn't change: how you win. That never changes.
Sure.
Championship teams, they've all got the same thing. The superstar had, like, you talk about Jokic for a second. His skill set, he is the most skilled basketball player in the fucking world. It's not a coincidence that he's the best player in the world. That's why he's the best. He's not the best athlete on the floor. He never is. Just like Bird. But a skill set, that dude is Tim Duncan. He is.
Yeah.
He is. So that, and you know how he got that way? Work ethic. That doesn't change. I don't care what.
He grew up in a different environment.
Well, he grew up in an environment where he was fucking starving and poor and everything else.
So, but that's all I'm saying
they don't glorify
is that
this shit. He doesn't like being a superstar.
So the baseline of how you win, the reasons for why you win don't change.
That doesn't change.
But because everybody's different, how you build that and how you create that becomes different.
And the level of importance you put on it. Because, by the way, if you view it as importantly as then you will find a way. And it may be different than the generation that came before you. I understand that. But you will find a way.
To that end. Yeah.
That does not change.
And through
whatever obstacles. Look, it's tougher being a kid today because of all the distractions they have. We didn't have cell phones and internet and all that. We had video games, but they didn't look nothing like this. Okay?
But there's a positive side to that too.
I'm not saying it's all bad. I'm saying it puts them in so many. It's hard to focus on one thing.
It is.
When you have so many options.
I can't.
It's hard.
I can't.
I'm trying to be fair here. I'm saying it's.
I know. I can't as an adult.
Yeah. No, it's hard.
How often do you watch TV? How often do you do one thing?
Yeah.
No. If I'm watching TV, I'm probably also
I'm doing
looking at my phone.
Yeah. I'm doing
who
4 or
knows?
5
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, I could be literally there when I go in from this show, I'm editing this. I have my headphones on, listening to something else. I have the TV on with Sports Center rolling to see if there's any breaking news, but the volume is turned down. So I've got 3 devices going. I'm listening to one of them, okay, and then this is after this is over, okay, when I'm stoned, just like a fucking break.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and I'm doing all that then when all I should be doing is food and TV. That's it. And it's just I'm eating and watching until I pass out.
Right.
That's what I'm probably, or drinking water. I'm hydrating, and then I pass out. That's what should be happening. That's not what. So even that thing, that's supposed to be relaxing.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing that, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
When you think about the positives, you also have a lot more opportunities to be inspired by something
you do
that you might not have seen. You know, because if there's no internet, you're not seeing some kid on the other side of the country or in a different country doing something that you look at and go, I want to try that.
See, the problem,
I could do that.
The problem with technological evolution is not technological evolution. It's how we manage it.
That's true.
Because we don't know, because we never had it
The
before.
human element.
We're learning as we go. Because again, 100 years ago, they didn't have this shit. 100 years ago, they were still riding into town on their horse. Okay? So,
No, I think the Model T was coming.
had
by
started,
that
but there
point,
was
yeah.
still horseback. 1923? There
Yeah.
was still horseback, yes.
Well, I'm sure, like, especially in remote areas
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you couldn't
So,
afford a Model T.
100 years ago, they were still going to work on a horse, some people. So, it's true. So, you can look it up. I'm not making that up. I'm a history major. Trust me on this. But the thing is, the drive, the things that separate the good from the great, the good from the solid, and the solid from the good, and the great from all that shit, that's what that is. It's not physical. And my anger with this team is because they didn't lose because of the physical. They lost because of everything else. If they ran into a team that had 8 fucking Hall of Famers on and they had more talent, okay, I can live with that. They had more talent than you. But when that's not the problem, and you're the more talented team and you lose, there's reason for criticism there.
Dude, the other thing is they had so many opportunities where they were just missing goals.
The whole tournament.
That's very
The
demoralizing.
game they won 3-0, they should have won 12.
Right,
No, they missed the
right.
net. They had open nets that they were missing.
In this game, they did that.
I know.
And then they had the opportunity to win it. I can't remember which
They lost 5.
player it was,
Yeah.
but they were up 4-3,
in the penalty kick.
and that penalty kick would have sealed
Would've
it.
sealed it.
And just blew it over
it.
the.
Fucking
I was
blew it.
like, damn.
Yeah, fucking blew it.
And she had the goalie beat. Yeah. The goalie went the wrong way,
and she just missed it.
And she blew
Just
it into
fucking
the.
missed it.
Oh man!
This is what I'm talking about. This is
They missed
why.
3
And by
PKs.
the way, this is why there was criticism, because what was happening here are things that they don't normally do.
Yeah.
This team doesn't. You see these players in any other soccer league. If they had a net that open, they hit it. They didn't miss it. So this is the problem. There were missed opportunities.
Yeah.
Tons of them. And it happened over the course of 4 games. Look, everybody has a bad game. Everybody has a stinker in him, so it happens.
They had a bad tournament.
Tom Brady, he had a bad 4 games. Tom Brady would have one stinker every year. He'd have one game every year in his prime when he'd throw 3 picks.
And
I don't know why.
And he'd get buried.
And then the next week he throws 5 touchdowns. And it's like, all right, he ain't doing that again.
Game against the Chiefs on Monday Night Football where they got buried.
Yeah.
What year was that? They came back
They won
and
the
won
Super Bowl, and it was like, we're on to Cincinnati. That was Belichick's line, we're on to Cincinnati. Then the next week, Cincinnati
great.
comes in, and Cincinnati was hot. They were like 4, the Pats buried them 43-10.
Smacked them out.
Yeah, then they came out, and he goes, we're on to Detroit, or whatever the next team was. He just kept saying it, and saying it, saying it. And the thing is, after the Chiefs game, I forget who it was, Trent Dilfer said the Patriots.
Somebody said they're done.
They're done, the Patriots
Yeah.
are done. And then at the end of the Super Bowl, he's like, I will never fucking say that about the Patriots again. Because he had, I'll give Trent Dilfer credit for one thing. He owned it. He didn't run from it. He didn't make excuses. He didn't say, well, you saw it, America. What would you think? He goes, no, I was wrong. I was fucking wrong. I'll never, ever, ever underestimate Tom Brady or Bill Belichick again. And he owned it, to his credit. He's the first guy that fucking, my bad, and didn't make an excuse for it. I respect him for that. But anyway, this soccer team had 4 bad games in a row.
Yeah.
And Carly Lloyd, who was a member of that team, and all they did was win when she was on it, and she's a great player, Hall of Famer, she has earned the right to criticize. If she didn't even have that job and she wanted to criticize it, she'd have had the right because she helped you win. So she knows what winning looks like. And when she sees something that doesn't look right, given what she was used to, yeah, she should say something. Fucking ain't right. You know why? Because she cares too.
I wonder if part of her was trying to fire them up.
Maybe.
You know.
Because she wasn't lying.
Because I'm sure
The coach saying she's insane.
that's gotta-
You're not in this locker room. She's been in that locker
Yeah,
room. For 20 fucking years she was in that locker room.
so
Fuck you. Fuck you to the coach for that.
Why wouldn't the coach say, you know what? If we should listen to anybody, it's her.
It's her.
Why wouldn't the coach do that and say, look, she's not, go into your team
Yeah.
and say, look,
That's it.
we're not going to cry about this.
Yeah.
She's fucking
She's
right.
fucking right. You
So
guys have
let's-
played with her. You
let's
know she's
turn it
right.
around.
Let's turn it around. Instead of fucking they're always defending
that
his
was
players.
stupid.
No, he's enabling them. He's giving them an excuse to fail, going, oh,
Right.
she was not in this locker room. Doesn't have to be in the locker room. She was there for 2 generations. She was there longer than you were, coach.
Yeah.
She was there longer than you were, coach.
Right. If it was just some loudmouth.
Yeah. Like
then-
me or you?
well, I mean, like
Jackass
like an
shut
ESPN
the dick.
loudmouth.
Yeah. Even
But
then.
if
The thing is, they're all former
it's one of
players
you.
too.
She's one of you.
But the thing
Right.
is, they're former players.
Right.
They're on that team too.
Yeah.
Like there is no
No,
one to go to.
I just mean a loudmouth like,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
Stephen A. or Skip or you know what I mean, like
Skip Bayless.
like somebody like that.
Nick Wrong. That
Right,
idiot. That
exactly.
idiot. Yeah.
It's
You
like
want
if
to
one of
blast
those guys
him,
comes out
yeah.
and goes, "This is the least talented
Yeah.
U.S. women's team."
Yeah.
That, you know, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
They forgot to put on their
But
socks.
When one of the best U.S. women's soccer players
ever
of all time
ever says that.
says something, you
Yeah.
should say, you know what?
Yeah.
She's fucking right.
And she's not that far removed. She was on the last team that won.
Yeah,
so she's not that far
I
removed
hadn't
from
really
it either.
thought about that.
So she had every right. It was her job on top of it, and she was 100% right. And everything she was concerned about happened in this game. Literally, everything she talked about happened in this fucking game. Yeah. And what they needed to clean up and where they were, and it all came out. So believe me, Carly Lloyd nailed it. Okay, and this coach deserves just as much of the blame as the players do.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay. She thought they were resting on Lowe's, and she's right. And I love the fact you guys just tied fucking Portugal, and you're out there dancing on the fucking field and taking pictures like you fucking
I didn't
won.
actually hear what she said.
Oh, she lit them up for that, and she should have, because they were acting like they won the fucking thing.
I saw some headlines like
Yeah.
Carly Lloyd, lights
She
up.
blasts him. She goes, the MVP was the fucking goalpost.
I did see. I read that.
And she was right, because if they hit that goes in, you didn't make it to the medal round. That would have been even worse. Oh, my God. But it turns out, I said it, there's going to be a lot of backlash from this. Today is just the beginning.
Dude, but this is...
Let America sit on this for 24 hours. It's all going to come out.
This is why I brought up Redeem Team.
Yeah.
So, yesterday during the day, just kind of sitting around, I put on Redeem Team. And it's about... Did I tell you about this last night? It's about the 2008 U.S. men's
Gold medal
basketball team
Yep.
who won the Olympics after we lost it
In
to...
04.
We didn't even make the medal game in 04.
Finished third.
So we lost to
bronze.
Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
and then we lost to Argentina in the semifinal.
Yeah.
And,
So
and it was a good documentary. I think you'd like it because, well, you'd probably be annoyed by some of the shit with LeBron, but it
the
was...
fact that you say that means it's annoying. Even you think it's annoying.
No, it wasn't. No, but I mean, just... So LeBron didn't do anything stupid, but the way the documentary portrays LeBron, I know you'd be like... Just getting like...
Yeah, because Kobe Bryant's on the team.
Well,
Dwayne
they were
Wade,
talking-
and Jason Kidd, and all
Right.
the other fucking all-time
Well-
greats are on the team.
Well, so a lot of it was talking about how, and Coach K was talking about this in the narrative, like how LeBron and Kobe were the alphas, and
Which
the
is
two,
true.
The two of them had to make sure their relationship was solid in order for the rest, for the team to kind of gel.
Yeah.
And they were
That's
talking
fair.
about how both of them were mature about it, and like LeBron's really started like joking with Kobe to get him like, and he would start laughing, and guys would actually see Kobe like as a person, because they said nobody in the league was friends with Kobe. That was when everybody thought he snitched on Shaq, and he got accused of assaulting that woman, and then
Sexual, yeah.
it came out that
Yeah.
apparently he didn't, and then he stayed with his wife, and he said, "Oh, I should have just paid him off the way Shaq does."
Yeah.
Like nobody liked Kobe,
Yeah.
and he was super intense. But
Yeah.
it just talked about it was really cool, and then I gained a lot of respect for Coach K watching it, and it was funny because LeBron was like, "Yeah," when they said Coach K was coming in, he was like, "I was not happy." He was like, "When you grow up in the city," he was like, "You hate Duke, you hate Coach K,
Yeah.
you hate Leitner."
White people
And-
are good at basketball, and I can't stand it.
Maybe
And
a
yet, no one criticizes African American athletes for that. And it was really prevalent with Larry Bird, Joel. But now all the greats that are all African American now go, do you understand how good this man
Well,
was?
but here's the
because he
funny
didn't
thing.
get the respect until
It's not only black guys that do that.
No.
White guys, I'm one of them.
You are.
I'm one of them that.
That's why
like,
you and I always clash about this.
I typically am biased against
White athletes.
white basketball players.
Yeah. Why is that, by the way, Thomas?
Well, because I think I connected more with hip hop and black culture when I was young, in my formative years. You know what I'm saying? And I think, I mean, I was one of those kids. There were times where like I felt like I related to that culture more than my own, which on a lot of levels wasn't true. I wanted to fit in. But I did love hip hop. I love black culture.
I love hip hop.
So
I've
I know.
always loved hip hop.
But so I hung around with people that hated Duke. You know what I mean? Like
Rubs off, America.
Right, it does. But here's the thing. I don't want. It's not about me.
No.
LeBron talked about how Coach K came in there and he was like, LeBron was like, I play my best basketball when I have a coach that holds us all accountable. And he was like, Coach K came in there and he didn't care who you were. And he was like, and he didn't do it in a disrespectful way, but he would speak honestly about everything. And it was really cool. And Doug Collins talked to them. So Doug Collins was part of the 72 team when they got cheated.
The Russians.
Yes.
That was awful.
Doug Collins made the 2 free throws to put the USA ahead.
Yeah.
Then Russia inbounded the ball. Nothing
That's
happened.
such
We
bullshit.
won. Somebody comes out of the stands and says, no, there should be 3 seconds on the
left.
clock.
Yeah.
They redo it. They throw a lob. We choke.
Yeah.
They catch it and score a
a
layup,
layup,
and we
yeah.
lose the gold medal.
Yeah.
And we didn't go and get the silver medal.
No.
And Doug Collins came in and told that story.
Yeah.
And LeBron was like, I'd heard about it, but I didn't realize how we got cheated. And after they won, so Doug Collins was on the call on the sideline. He was he was the color commentator.
Yeah.
After USA won the gold medal, everybody on the team went and shook Doug Collins' hand. And then he came, they put their medal on him,
That's
and he
neat.
took a picture with them.
That's cool. They did.
And he got emotional.
Yeah.
You know,
because he got
talking
screwed.
about it, right?
Yeah, he got screwed.
Yeah.
They got screwed.
Right.
I mean, I saw that tape.
Yeah.
They got
It's
screwed.
horseshit.
It's horseshit.
I
It's one of
mean,
the worst things.
It's like if
It's-
somebody told you what happened, you'd be like, "All right, what really happened?"
You have to watch
Like,
the game.
Yeah,
and the thing is, I watched the entire game on tape. Everything that led up to that.
Was there a
when
lot
you
of
watch
cheating
when
going
you
on in
watch
the
the
game?
whole game, you're like, this is unbelievable.
They're trying to get
They
them
got
to-
away with this. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. So listen, and I probably will check it out.
Cool documentary.
But I'm just saying that this goes into the whole old school versus new school, and when you become bitter and old. Look,
Kobe was old school.
Kobe was old school, and that's why I've always respected him. Because
That's
he
why
was.
they won.
That's why they won.
Because
But
he-
he got mad because Shaq was so talented, and Shaq didn't have his work ethic. And when him and Shaq finally had their kumbaya moment when they buried their hatchet, Shaq admitted that to Kobe that he didn't work as hard as he should have, which made Kobe mad. But at least he owned it.
Yeah.
So, and Kobe wasn't wrong about that.
No.
He wasn't. So
No, but it shouldn't have happened the way
No.
to kind of
No.
ultimatum
But
get
like
him out of here.
again, the thing is,
he was young and he was
Yeah.
arrogant.
He was
Yeah.
arrogant, and he paid for it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't get out of the first round until they got pounded with salt. He got knocked out in the first round like 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, like, he can't win without a big man. He needs. And look, everybody needs help. I can't remember the last time I saw a team with one superstar win a title. It doesn't work that way.
No.
It doesn't work that way. Denver has 2 superstars and a bunch of good players around.
Yeah, and a bunch of
and they're well coached and they play the game the right way, and I love the way they play.
You can't do it alone.
They play the way I wish the Celtics would play, and that's what pisses me off about the Celtics, because you can do that. That's more about ego than anything else.
Yeah.
So, but with the women's soccer team,
Can I tell one more story?
yeah, but with the women's soccer team, real quick, talent was why they should have won. It was everything else that cost them, and that's where by the way, when you lose like this, you just open up Pandora's box.
Hopefully,
Because the only thing
they
that
retool.
yeah, the only thing that stops that criticism. You want to stop that criticism, ladies? Fucking win. Because when you're the most talented team on the field, you shouldn't. And with your history, the history of that team, you should not lose. That's the expectation. We'll take a big whiff. You wanted all that. You wanted every. Listen, you want all the good stuff. You better be damn well prepared to deal with the bad stuff, because you can't have one without the other. So we'll see. To his point, hopefully they retool, and in 4 years we're talking about these run through this fucking
We're talking about a
tournament.
redeem team.
The redeem, maybe a redeem team. Maybe everyone's, and maybe look, they need one.
Yeah.
They need one. Okay. So, but it won't be for a lack of talent. They got the talent.
Quick Kobe story from the redeem team. So they're in camp. Okay, so Kobe didn't come until the 3rd year.
Yeah.
So like, we lost to Argentina in the semifinals in 04.
Yep.
Got knocked out.
Yep.
Then Coach K came on. They started building the team. We went to the World Championships and we lost to Greece
Greece. I remember that.
in 06.
Yep.
And then in 07, they recruited Kobe. So like they had a big core, and then Kobe came in late.
Yep.
He came in before the 08. And so he comes on, and nobody really knows him. Nobody really fucks with him.
Yeah.
All the guys go out to the club after one of the practices. They're out in Las Vegas
Yep.
in training camp.
Yep.
And they come in at 5:30, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Carmelo was telling the story.
Yeah.
He's like,
No surprise it was Carmelo.
right. We're walking through the lobby, and Kobe's coming out to go to the gym. It's like 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Kobe's coming out to go to the gym. Or maybe it was 6 and he had already practiced.
He'd already practiced once.
Yes.
He practiced from 4 to 6.
Yes.
Because Kobe would practice
Yes.
2 hours, rest for 4 hours.
4 times
Then
a
he'd
day,
do this 4 times a day.
Yeah.
So he'd get 8 hours of work in.
Yeah.
And Kobe's mindset, which was also, I was taught this too, is that if I step on the court with you, and this is what goes with Kobe Bryant said, the guy in front of him is already dead.
Yeah.
Because when this guy was fucking sleeping, I was working out.
I practiced twice before he
Allen
woke up.
Iverson told the similar story about when they were young and Kobe would go and work out and he wouldn't go out to the clubs with Iverson when they came in, and he didn't get it, and then he later like, now I know why Kobe's Kobe. So yeah, there's multiple stories about, hey, there's that word again, work ethic.
Yeah. And it's funny because Carmelo admitted, he goes, I understand going in early. He goes, I'm not going in at 4:30.
Nope.
I mean,
And that's why you never
be as good
and
as
that's
him.
why you never won a fucking thing.
But
Melo.
here's the thing. So, day after that happened, Wade and LeBron went down.
Yep.
They woke up with
Yep,
him.
with him.
And then by the end of the week,
It was everybody.
the whole team was doing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's leadership.
That's
on a
leadership.
different level.
That's
And part of it is just because of who he was.
That's
and
Larry
the work he had
Bird
put in
shit.
up to, yeah.
That's Magic Johnson. That's Michael
Yeah,
Jordan
yeah,
shit
yeah,
right there.
yeah.
And that's why Kobe's got 5 rings.
Yeah.
So
I think I underrate Kobe. Because I
he's
didn't
in,
like him
he's
that
in my
much.
top 10.
Yeah.
I don't like him. He's in my top 10. I have him in there.
I think
He
I
should be in
underrate
there.
him.
He's earned it.
Yeah,
Look,
5
I always
rings.
say, I always tell people, think about this. In my top 10 list, and you've all heard it by now, but Kobe's in there, Shaq is not. And yet I tell everybody, it's a fact, Kobe's first 3 championships, Kobe wasn't the best player on the team, Shaq was. Shaq won 3 finals MVPs. The only guy to do that in the last 50 years is Michael Jordan. So it's Michael and it's Shaq. But yet Shaq never comes up in this conversation of the GOAT. Why? Because of his work ethic. Because he didn't win more than he should have. Shaq should have won 10.
So he basically wasn't as good as he could
Shaq,
have been.
from a talent perspective, should have won 10 titles. 10! Okay?
Shaq was awesome. Dude.
Shaq that's why I don't even mention him. Kobe's in my top 10. Shaq is not. Shaq is number 12 on my list. Olajuwon is 11. Shaq is 12.
See, I don't even remember what I said when we picked him.
I've said it multiple.
But I'm pretty sure I had Shaq in my top 10.
He's not in
But
mine.
see, I don't
I don't
think
rate him ahead of
about my
Kobe for
top 10
that
like
reason.
that.
I don't rate him ahead of Kobe for that reason. That's why Kobe's got one more than him. And they talked about it, and when they had their comeuppance about how when Shaq was pissed when Kobe got his 5th because he knew that's how it was going to go down. And that's right, Shaq. That's how it went down. You ate your way out of the league. You did. So and he admits it.
Yeah.
So look,
I love
Shaq's
Shaq,
an all-time great. I
Yeah.
love him he's honest.
Yeah.
I love that about him. And went back and got his education even after he made all his money. That's why he doesn't. And he was kudos to his parents for getting him to do that. That's good parenting right there. They always value. Even when he got rich, like, go back and get your. He after he got rich, he tells a story about how his parents made him. Now he's making all the money now, and they're telling him, get your fucking ass back, get your fucking degree, and then go get your master's for good measure. Shaq has his master's degree. Okay.
Well, Shaq tells the story about when, he was getting into business, and his lawyers would go into the room, and he'd be like,
Yeah.
why aren't I in the room?
Yeah.
Like, talking about the deal, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, so I need a degree to do that shit?
Yeah,
okay.
Because you know what you're talking
Okay.
about. You can't just throw money at a problem in
Yeah.
America, even though America keeps thinking they can. So we're going to end this segment on
We're
that.
going to talk baseball.
Yeah.
Should we talk or should we start a new one?
We'll start a new one.
Let's do a
because-
quick stop
Let's do a
and
quick
start.
stop. Yeah, we'll do a quick. We're going to find Yoda real quick.
I don't even know if we need to.
Okay, we'll do a quick stop.
Quick
and start.
baseball segment, then
Then-
Yoda, then football.
He's evolving, America. Look at that. We'll see in just a minute.